Boise State football isn't just a team, it's a phenomenon. From the moment those bright blue turf shots hit the screen, viewers instantly know they're looking at something different, something bold, something that doesn't play by the usual rules of college football. The video should open with fast, energetic clips of Albertson Stadium as fans fill the stands, paired with iconic highlights, trick plays, last-second touchdowns, and the kind of chaos that only Boise State can deliver. Then you punch the viewer with a question designed to spark curiosity. How did a small program from Idaho become one of the most feared and respected names in college football? This hook pulls them in by promising a story of underdogs, innovation, giant killers, and unforgettable moments, all wrapped in that unmistakable shade of Bronco blue. From there, shift smoothly into an intro that builds emotion, context, and hype. You explain that Boise State football is just known for winning games, it's known for changing the culture of college football itself. Talk about the identity they've created. The stadium nicknamed the Blue Asterisk, fans known for their loyalty and intensity, and a program that consistently punches above its weight. Highlight why this story matters right now. Maybe it's a new season filled with high expectations, a fresh coaching direction, rising stars on the roster, or simply the ongoing debate about whether Boise State can return to national powerhouse status. Emphasize that in this video, you'll explore how the Broncos built their reputation, how they shocked the nation in some of the most memorable games in college football history, where the program stands today, and what the future could look like for a team that refuses to fade away. Close the intro by inviting viewers to settle in, because they're about to relive one of the most compelling journeys in modern college football, a journey that is still being written. Boise State's football story doesn't begin with fame, blue turf, or national highlights. It begins with a small, determined program tucked in the heart of Idaho, where belief mattered just as much as talent. In the early days, Boise State wasn't expected to become a powerhouse. They didn't have the recruiting advantage, the national spotlight, or the resources that bigger programs enjoyed. But what they did have was a growing fanbase, a gritty culture, and a hunger to prove they belonged on the national stage. As the program evolved, the leadership focused on building a unique identity, something that would separate Boise State from every other team in the country. That identity began to take shape with the installation of the now famous blue turf in 1986. At first, it was considered strange, even gimmicky. But over time, the blue became more than just a field. It became a symbol of creativity, confidence, and courage. It represented a team unafraid to be different, unafraid to innovate, and unafraid to challenge the traditional hierarchy of college football. That spirit fueled Boise State's rise through the ranks, transforming a modest program into one with ambition, personality, and a growing list of loyal fans. The foundation was set not by one star player or single season, but by decades of perseverance, bold decisions, and a belief that greatness can come from anywhere. Boise State didn't wait for recognition, they created it. And that mindset would soon change college football forever. Boise State's rise to national fame can be traced to one night that changed everything: the 2007 Fiesta Bowl. It was the moment the world stopped laughing at the blue turf and started respecting the Broncos as true contenders. Facing heavily favored Oklahoma, Boise State delivered one of the most thrilling, unpredictable performances in college football history. The hook and ladder play on 4th and 18, the Statue of Liberty's two-point conversion in overtime. Ian Johnson's game-winning run was followed by his unforgettable on-field proposal. It was cinema, drama, and pure football brilliance rolled into one. But that game wasn't an accident. It was the culmination of a program built on creativity, discipline, and a refusal to accept limits. Under coaches like Dan Hawkins and Chris Peterson, Boise State adopted an aggressive, innovative style that caught national attention. Trick plays weren't just entertainment, they were strategic weapons used to outsmart bigger, stronger opponents. And then there were the players: Kellen Moore, the winningest quarterback in college football history; Doug Martin, Jaron Johnson, Titus Young, and so many others who took Boise State from cute underdog to legitimate powerhouse. The Broncos didn't just win games, they embarrassed traditional giants and broke through the ceiling that separated smaller programs from the elite. National rankings, BCS Bowl appearances, and double-digit win seasons became the norm. Boise State was no longer a curiosity, they were a model of how innovation, culture, and belief could rewrite the rules of college football and inspire every underdog across the nation. The modern era of Boise State football has been a journey filled with ups, downs, and plenty of storylines that remind fans why this program is so captivating. After years of dominating and maintaining national prominence, the program began facing new challenges: coaching changes, tougher competition, and the pressure to sustain a legacy built on excellence. Every transition brought uncertainty. When Brian Harsin took the reins, the Broncos continued to win but struggled to recapture the same magic that defined the early 2010s. There were big victories, standout performances, and seasons where the team looked unstoppable, yet there were also moments of inconsistency, injuries, and unexpected losses that left fans frustrated. But if there's one thing Boise State has always shown, it's resilience. Even in seasons where the team struggled, they found ways to fight back, adjust, and stay competitive in the Mountain West. Young quarterbacks stepped up, the defense evolved, and new stars emerged to keep the program's identity alive. The arrival of new coaching leadership in recent years brought a renewed sense of direction and energy. And while the Broncos haven't always finished where fans hoped, they've never stopped battling to reclaim their place among college football's elite. The Fiesta Bowl wins, ranked appearances, and breakout seasons prove that the foundation is still strong. The lows only highlight how high the expectations have become. Boise State remains one of the most consistently competitive group of 5 programs, and every setback seems to set the stage for an even stronger comeback. Today's Boise State team is a blend of rising talent, experienced leadership, and a coaching staff focused on restoring the program's national identity. On offense, the Broncos continue to showcase dynamic playmakers who can flip momentum in an instant. Whether it's a strong quarterback room, a breakout running back, or a wide receiver core stacked with speed and athleticism, Boise State's offensive DNA remains explosive and exciting. Their ability to create big plays and stretch defenses gives them the ability to compete with anyone on their schedule. Defensively, the Broncos have returned to their root stuff, physical football with a focus on discipline. A strong defensive line, aggressive linebackers, and a secondary capable of tight coverage keep the team competitive in tight games. There are moments where the defense looks dominant, shutting down high-power defenses and forcing turnovers at key points. However, like any evolving team, there are weak spots that need attention. Depth can be a concern, especially late in the season when injuries stack up. Consistency is another issue. The Broncos sometimes struggle with maintaining the same level of intensity across all 4 quarters. In tougher matchups, defensive lapses or missed assignments can shift the momentum quickly, but the potential is undeniable. With recruits stepping in, key players developing quickly, and a coaching staff emphasizing accountability and improvement, the Broncos are trending upward. The team may not be perfect yet, but the foundation is strong, the mindset is competitive, and the hunger to return to national prominence is clearly visible in every game they play. Looking ahead, the future of Boise State football holds both excitement and big questions that will shape the next era of the program. Recruiting remains one of the most important factors in determining how quickly the Broncos can return to national contention. While they don't always pull in the 5-star superstars that Power 5 programs chase, Boise State has built a reputation for developing underrated talent into high-level contributors, and that pipeline continues to grow. The program's ability to attract players who fit its culture, tough, disciplined, and hungry to prove themselves, gives Boise State a unique advantage. At the same time, conference realignment continues to swirl around the world of college football, and Boise State is often mentioned as a potential candidate for a larger conference. A move to a Power 5 or whatever the future equivalent becomes could dramatically reshape the program's recruiting, revenue, and national reach. But even if the Broncos remain in the Mountain West, they are positioned to remain a force. Strong facilities, loyal fans, and a national brand built over decades help keep the momentum alive. On the field, the future comes down to consistency, depth, and leadership. New stars will emerge, new strategies will unfold, and the team's identity will continue evolving. But one thing is certain: Boise State's legacy of being bold, innovative, and competitive isn't going anywhere. Whether they rise back into the top 25 or make another run at a major bowl, the Broncos have all the ingredients to write their next great chapter. The future is bright, unpredictable, and full of potential, exactly what makes Boise State football so inspiring. Boise State football isn't just a series of games, highlights, or seasons. It's a story of belief, innovation, and relentless determination. As we look back on their journey, from a small program fighting for recognition to a nationally respected powerhouse, one thing becomes clear: this team has never been afraid to break the mold. They dared to be different with the blue. They dared to challenge giants with fearless play calling. And they continue to dare every single year to prove that greatness doesn't depend on market size, conference labels, or outside expectations. It comes from culture, heart, and the willingness to outwork everyone else. The Broncos have given college football some of its most unforgettable moments, and despite the challenges, their spirit has never faded. Today's team carries that legacy forward, blending new talent with the same underdog fire that made Boise State a household name. And as the future unfolds with new players rising, new opportunities emerging, and new chapters being written, the only real question is just how far this program can go next. Whether you've been a Bronco fan for decades or you rediscovering their story for the first time, one thing is certain: the blue turf still shines bright, and Boise State's journey is far from over. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the program's past, present, and future, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more college football content, and drop a comment sharing your favorite Boise State moment. Thanks for watching, and, as always, go Broncos!